Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me to paint together this cactus, the home assignment from our last class. This video is gonna go fast, but the idea is that I want to provide some recommendations for how to paint it. And beginning with, as you know me, I like you drawing with a charcoal pencil. I'm doing the same. I'm drawing with a charcoal pencil very lightly. I am not trying to be perfect. I am actually just going for shapes. That's mainly what I want to reference. I don't want it to be exactly it, or we will take a picture. And now I am going to create a very light wash of pink color. With this wash of pink color using a very large round number 16 brush, I am going to create the background. I don't paint the complete piece of paper, the complete page. I just paint like a rectangle, and I am blotting water, which actually is water and paint, to create the texture of the wall. That is one of the first things that I wanted to share with you. I begin with this detail because it allows me to look at the texture of the wall, something that is very interesting in this home assignment. And when starting to paint the greens, I begin with the very light washes of green. I don't go with the darker washes as we do it in class. Please remember, we paint layer by layer. Every layer will bring to life the volume of our reference. And as this video is of course set for move very fast, this really took me about 40 minutes to complete. So take your time, don't worry. As you are seeing, I'm blotting more water mixed with watercolor in some areas where probably the water started running towards the wall, and I didn't want it to run towards the wall. And before this goes too fast, let me show you how in the wall I am now adding details of these darker pink areas, which actually I used the color pink and just a dab of green actually, that actually made my pink color darker without losing the hue of the pink color. These are some of the things that I wanted to share with you while painting together this cactus. Also, now you can see I definitely shifted to use a smaller brush. I am no longer using the larger brush. And whenever I see that I need to remove paint to create lights, I do it. I grab a piece of towel or napkin and I remove excess water or excess paint to create light, or for it not to run to the areas where I don't want that green color to go in the background. One very important tip that I want to give you is this. Look at the reference picture that you have. Squint your eyes and see where the darker areas are. That'll help you a lot for creating yourself as well this detail of darker areas, which definitely brings the volume to your reference. It doesn't have to be perfect. Please remember that. Don't forget, we are not trying for the photographic effect. We are just going for enjoying painting, using watercolors, expressing, playing with these paints. We are not going for the most perfect shape. But this one tip that I told you about, which is squinting your eyes and looking at your reference picture where the darker areas are, this is probably the most important one in this one home assignment. Look, as I am comparing it in this small section of the video, because I know it's moving really fast, I was squinting my eyes just to see where there were darker areas still missing. To making the darker areas of green, don't be afraid of using the color black. Don't be afraid of adding some color black to it, so you can also make it darker. In my case, I like using color black and dark color purple to make it even more intense. Sometimes that actually creates a very interesting variation of green. So try it, give it a try. That is actually how I created most of the bases, the base of the cactus, where you see the colors going darker in my painting. This is mostly about it. I'm just a few minutes away from finishing. I used also my white Dr. Martin ink for creating some details at the end. I created details like like some highlights, some turns just at the bottom. I didn't add a lot because sometimes adding a lot of white also moves the attention towards those little details which we don't really want the eyes of our audience to look at. We want them to appreciate the whole painting. So I am just finishing some details there where I thought it was important to add more highlights and create depth as well in some of the little children of the cactus sticking there. I hope you enjoy this process. I hope some of these tips are helpful for you. And I can't wait to see your paintings when we go back in class. See you next Saturday. Have a wonderful weekend.